There's me, there's us, there's them. We live in Dorset, so that's me, that's her, that's them. And together we are the Bear Fam. Hello, how are you? Long time no see and all that. How is everybody? I hope you're well as you can be. Welcome to sunny Dorset. First day in probably a week that the sun has properly shined. It's really quite pleasant. It was about time I caught you up on my life and the trials and tribulations we've been having. To say we'd had a rocky ride would probably be an understatement. And although I had slowed on the YouTube, I think predominantly the reason I haven't been vlogging is that there's been so much happening and it's been quite personal and difficult that it just didn't seem right to share some of it at the time, you know. We're still sort of in it, so to speak, but I think another month or so and we might come out the other side. Just climbed out the shower, so you'll have to forgive my wet hair. But yeah, the garden is coming to life. It looks a bit like a jungle at the moment, to be fair. The old oak tree is looking beautiful in colour. See, the one thing I've noticed since I've been painting a lot is that I notice colours and differences of things, and you know, you start to look a lot more closely at the world. On the painting front, I've still got my Etsy account. I've probably sold 20 or 30 now, which is, you know, pays for the materials if nothing else. I mean, I'm not like some star artist or anything, but pet portraits seem to be the most in demand. I do fight with them though. It's like they probably take me 3 or 4 days each, and I have some ups and downs with them, sitting there cussing and taking all the paint off and putting it back on. The one I'm doing at the moment, I went round the houses probably 10 times doing the same bit and then taking it off and going around to the point that the paper won't take a lot more, and then I've got to start all over again. I've done one for a lady whose message has disappeared. She wanted 5 dogs doing. 3 Frenchies and 2 little ones. If that was you, could you give me a shout? Because the message has gone. I've finished one of your paintings and I've no idea who you are. I've searched the messages high and low, trying to find it, and there's just nothing there. So you've either decided against it, or there's a technical issue my end. There's a bird in the bush right behind me. Right, well, the boys are still here. We have a Monty, an Archie, and a Sean the sheep. Right, so I think the easiest thing for me is to go for a walk, and then I can talk to you about everything that's been occurring. Assuming there's not thousands of people out. Here, look, those of you that have been with us for several years will know the relevance of this t-shirt. First time I've ever worn it, ridiculously, 3 years later. The old Mickey Mouse. Magic Kingdom. Yeah. It's been hanging in my wardrobe and I keep thinking, no, I'm not going to wear that. I'm not going to wear that. It's special. I'll save that for a special occasion. And me being me, that just never comes along. So, it's out. It's on. It's a bit low on the front. It's a bit, you know, But I've put a sports bra on, so you won't get a view of anything more than that if you're hoping. Okay. I need to just eat something, get myself hydrated, and I'll catch you on the other side, out there. Well, actually, it's out there, for being technical. Oh, I'm sure you've missed me. Not! As you can see, the grass is all grown up. This is the sort of back area to my house. All the trees come into greenery. Yeah, beautiful day. Right, I was going to wait to the top of the hill as normal, but it's blowier than I thought, so you probably won't hear me once I get up there. Oh, hang on. I have to religiously wave to my neighbours every morning who sit in their conservatory watching the world go by. I'm not sure they'd understand what I'm doing. They probably still don't understand what I'm doing, but at least I'm not right in front of them. So, where to start? Well, today is Ellie's official last day of school, despite the fact she actually left last January. Without going into the complete ins and outs of a duck's bottom, we had to take her out before she was chucked out, basically, in the end. Her behaviour became so erratic and she was just up and down. She has occasions when the police come and knock on the door and say, do you know she's sat outside the shops with a group and people are complaining? That's humiliating, I can tell you. She's had a couple of seizures, which initially I thought was probably drugs, but the blood tests at the hospital, because an ambulance was called on both occasions by her friends. One of the occasions she ended up in A&E. That was Easter weekend. There was a week and a half, I think, that literally every time the door knocked, it was either an ambulance crew or a police officer. And I just actually thought, I don't know what I thought. I felt like I couldn't cope, but I guess I did, because I'm still here. Her behaviour has moderated somewhat, and she's going into the school each day to take her GCSEs, so we're like 2-3 weeks into that. You could say it's teenage years, you could say all sorts of things. We're not as close as we used to be, but again, that's going to be age to a certain extent. You know, we used to be each other's best friends, and now she's got a whole group of friends, you know. Whether they're the right ones is another kettle of fish entirely. But she's nearly 17, and those choices are for her, not me, unfortunately. She's got a college course that she wanted, so she's starting health and social care in September. And I'm sort of pinning all my hopes on the world evening out at that point in time. So there was all that went on. God, it doesn't sound a lot when you say it like that. But trust me, it was really difficult, and it wasn't something I don't think I could have spoken about at the time. There were a couple of occasions where she went missing, left her phone behind and just vanished off the face of the earth. She told the school that she looked at the train timetable, so she knew when a train was coming, so she could jump in front of it. Oh God, one of the local nutters up there shouting their mouth off about something. That was her third occasion an ambulance came, because they came to check on her to make sure she wasn't suicidal the day after. There was a couple of weeks where she was ringing Samaritans every day because she felt so low and there was nobody helping her anywhere else. CAMHS are a chocolate fucking teapot. They're just absolutely unfit for purpose. The individuals within CAMHS no issues with, apart from one. But just, they don't have the money, they don't have, doesn't even seem like they have the know-how. I mean, the fact that she can ring a charity and get more help, they even pick up the phone and ring her the next day, Samaritans, to check that she's all right. CAMHS don't do that. Yeah, so, and even the GP agrees. When she had her seizures, obviously went to the GP, and the ambulance crew thought they were what's known as a behavioural seizure, but the GP disagrees when he's seen the videos. He thinks they're, well, he doesn't know what they are. We were already seeing the paediatrician in June, like our ongoing, like we have been for a while. So until June, we don't know what's happening. They might order another load of tests, you know, I don't know, EEG, MRI. But the fact she hasn't had another one since Easter, they might not. Just got to show you this pollen in the air. It looks like it's snowing. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. There we go. Look at it. It literally does look like it's snowing. Right. Oh, there we go. Wrong way. We are going up this hill. Go on, Tonka. Oh my goodness. Snowing pollen. Wow. Looks like feathers. I know it's not, but it looks like feathers. Right, I'm going to climb this hill and I will get back to you at the top. So, made it to the top of the hill. My head is banging, I don't know why. Probably the heat, maybe. I ate and drank before I came out, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Probably should have brought some water for the boys. It's that time of the year again, isn't it? Oh. Doesn't it look pretty? Very pretty today. Have you missed this, people? Nothing much has changed, I can assure you of that. I just thought I'd let you look around for a while instead of me constantly yakking. Oh, Dak, is it too hot, sweetheart? It's so slow. Uh-oh, people coming. Grab the Jack. Right, Beth, I've probably got mascara running down my face because when I'm out this time of year, my nose runs and my eyes run. And I don't think it's anything to do with pollen because my eyes run all year round. Nose, not so much, but every time I put makeup on, well, it happens all the time, it's just I notice it more with makeup on because I'm worried about having black streaks down my face. Ugh. Put Jack on a lead and the bloke's dog is just hassle. In the end, he finally comes and gets the dog. And he looks at me and went, is he a bit snappy then? all my willpower to not say something like, no shit, Sherlock. No, he loves being on the lead. He's on the lead because he's too precious. I don't know, I was just being pissy, but he was peeing around. Probably because I got lipstick on and a low top. Anyway, my moaning hasn't changed, folks. Don't suppose it ever will now. What else to tell you? Oh, I'll tell you what. I don't know. I'm into, very much into, like, artifacts and sort of, oh God, I can't even think of the word. Hang on, let's get in the shade when my head won't hurt so much. Begins with an A. Oh God, I hate fibromyalgia. Anyway, people that dig things out the ground, it'll come to me. And I like to watch a lot of programs of people, you know, and one of the programs I watch is River Hunters. I don't know if you've ever seen it. English bloke and an American bloke called Beau Wimmet. Hope I pronounced that right, Beau. Who's a French Canadian. Lives in Georgia area of US. Anyway, I watched River Hunter series. I think we're up to series 3 now. And they've been saying all along, oh, he's a YouTube sensation, he's a YouTube sensation. It just hasn't. The ding hasn't donged in my brain. Well, the dong finally dinged. I checked out his YouTube channel, which is called Aqua Chigger. AQUACHIGGER. And he goes hunting for relics in the US. Sometimes he goes snorkeling and finds sunglasses and phones and cameras people have lost. Sometimes he digs up Civil War relics. Sometimes he goes caving. Lots of adventures, metal detecting. And I haven't watched telly for days. I've just been trying to get through all of his videos. And there are lots of them. But he's also quite sexy. That could be part of it, despite the fact he's happily married. Aren't they all, these good ones? Anyway, he's not, what's the word, that's the phrase? He's kind on the eye, something like that. I'm really having a brain fart today. Oh, I've got a real stinking headache and I'm not sure why. Oh, give the boys a biscuit each. Let Jack off again and hope there's nobody around. I even thought about buying a cheap metal detector. But where would I go? Oh, I say where would I go? I suppose that's half of it. Maybe there's a club or something I could join. Because I wouldn't know how to use the damn thing. Because he says like, oh, that's a iron squeak. And that's a good squeak. And he said you've got to ground base it. And all the phrases he comes out with. And I'm like, yeah. That sounds a bit like putting DIY furniture together to me. In the non-achievable zone for Lisa. Don't know if you remember last year there was a blue tent down in the corner of the field. Well, it fell over and collapsed into a heap. Can't see it anymore. That was over there. The dead car is still there, although it's rotted into a lot more pieces, and the kids use it to sit on and whatever else. Yes, you have to come out of the shade. We can't get home from there, Jack. Come on. Pair of you being lazy. Come on. Oh, the Chunker being a good boy. Chunker being a good boy. Yes, he is. Come on then. Let's get out this heat. I think we'll take the shortcut today. So all in all, life has been fairly tumultuous. Ellie finally got to the Little Mix concerts that she had planned, years ago, before lockdown. So that happened, but then of course they've lost a band member since, and now they're having a break. So there were tears and tantrums about that. guess we've all had a band or something that's come to an end. That we've been sort of, I think part of Ellie's identity was sort of aligned with Little Mix for a while. I think the fact that one of them lived in Weymouth at one point and her mum lives here sort of made them more real than most pop groups for Ellie. Anyway, I think oh God, I've probably banged on about this before. Sea looks like I could jump in it today. Oh, I'm tired. This hill never gets any easier. Right, you probably can't hear me because of the wind now. So I'll catch you in a while. Hey Beth, I forgot to film an ending the other day. I'm so out of practice at this business. So here I am, out of breath, on the hill again. Waiting for Jack to catch up again. Not quite as sunny and gorgeous today, but in some ways, oh look, my peak's off. In some ways I'm actually grateful because I'm too hot anyway. I've had to take my coat off and put it around me and my waist. Still a bit, as you can see from the cloud, there's been some specks of rain. Of course it's half term, isn't it? All the campsites, I can see all the sort of, they're not real campsites, but they're like farmers that let their fields out. Can you see here? And the local rugby club over yonder is full of caravans as well. It sort of creeps up on you each year. The only extra news to add really is that Ellie was allowed to go back into school. Well, she's been going in for her GCSEs anyway. I think I told you she left sort of January, February, and then was doing homeschooling for the last few months. But they kept her on the books. They had a note from her consultant saying she wasn't fit for school, so they let her stay on the books. They're letting her do her GCSEs. And they let her go in for the last day of school, well, the last official day of school. Obviously the year 11s still go back in for their GCSEs, but they have now officially left school. So they did the old Leavers Day, and they had Leavers hoodies that we paid for months and months ago actually. They all signed each other's shirts. The school bought them pizza and ice cream. The school got all the younger years out, which I thought was a really lovely idea, and made them line up outside the school, sort of on the entrance driveway and up to the school gate. And they didn't know, they were taken on a like, now let's go for a walk, just go around the block, just so you know, so for old time's sake. And as they came back in through the school gates, everybody was clapping and cheering them, and I thought, it's something so simple, but it's something that you will aspire to. Do you know what I mean? Ellie, being daft as she is, she kept my head down the whole time because I was so embarrassed. But she was obviously quite made up about it all. And I'm glad from her perspective that she got to have closure. To have done all those years and to have, inverted commas, suffered an arena she didn't really thrive in. But to be able to have that closure with all her peers, I thought was really important. And I'm really chuffed that she got it. She's got loads of pictures with the teachers, and you know, it's just something I guess I wish I had. But you know, about to say I've lost Jack, but I can see him. Back in 1985 when I left school, it was just a see you later. I mean, now they have proms and everything. She's got prom coming up on the 30th of June. So the next thing is to get a frock. I'm going to try and convince her to look at all the really posh frocks on Vinted that are like originally hundreds of pounds, which are now a lot less than that. So instead of going and buying a mass-produced Chinese one from a prom shop, I'd like to try and get one off, you know, a really nice one off Vinted. but we'll see. I can understand she might have that. Oh, I didn't like second hand. But I've seen a beautiful one that, like, it's 50 quid. But it was £685 on the ticket. And the woman bought it for her daughter's prom. And she never even got to go to the prom because of COVID. So it's never been worn. And it's just, oh, it's beautiful. I would have it, but I've yet to show Ellie because she's been asleep since I found it on Vinted. Anyway, I'm rambling, aren't I? So that's that. The last piece of the puzzle is the prom, and to finish her GCSEs, I guess. So for now, she's got a week off, a week to revise. Like, that's going to happen. My daughter doesn't do revision, no matter how many times I sit her down or coax her. She just has one of those brains that just seems to, she'll read it and do it all the night before. And I'm like, what the? I spent months writing things down, creating whatever those things are that you have a letter for each thing, and then I can't even remember the name of them. I'm sure you're screaming at your telly right now. Found another great YouTube channel this morning, Adventures with Purpose. Not for everybody, but it's a group of diving enthusiasts that travel America, dealing with missing person cases, where there's a suggestion that they might have driven themselves off into water or been driven to water. And it's really good, really moving. Yeah, Adventures with Purpose. Anyway, they're my two top YouTube channels. I don't know, telly and me does seem to be not connected at the moment. I'm more into YouTube, and that's unusual for me, and ironic on the basis that I've been a YouTuber for several years. I keep checking that Jack's with me. If you wonder what I'm doing, he's got a habit of doing a Ronnie. Oh, right. My nose is running as per usual. My eyes are streaming today. Absolutely streaming. I feel like I'm crying, and they feel really heavy and gunky. I don't know what it is about being out here. I'm going to leave it there. There's another 6 minutes of waffle, look. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for my zits. I've got zits everywhere at the moment again. Right. I'm going to leave it there, put the dogs on the lead, go home, do some painting, I think. Be sure to check out my Etsy shop, Watercolour by Lisa. You might find something you like. Most of them are only a tenner. I say only, but bearing in mind how long they take me, you're getting a bargain, trust me. Right, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll catch you, I don't know, in a few months. I don't know when I'll catch you. I'll definitely update you with prom dress news, because I'm sure you'd love to see the new prom dress whenever we find whatever she wants. I'm looking forward to seeing her in a frock. I can't remember the last time I saw Ellie in a dress. She just doesn't do dresses. In fact, she's talked about not going because she's so worried about wearing a dress. And I said, well, wear like one of these girly trouser suits, you know. But she wouldn't have that. She didn't want to stand out. So there we go. Right. I will catch you on the morrow. Or not. And take care of yourselves and each other. And I love you, Bear Fam. And thank you so much for sticking with the channel all these years.